Kick-ass facts! Pew pew pew! The Great Christmas Truce was a series of widespread unofficial ceasefires along the Western Front of the First World War during Christmas 1914. In the week leading up to Christmas, French, German, and British soldiers crossed trenches to exchange seasonal greetings and chit-chat. In some areas, men from both sides ventured into no man's land on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day to mingle, play football, exchange food and souvenirs. There were joint burial ceremonies and even prisoner swaps, and many meetings ended in caroling. The following year, a few units arranged ceasefires, but the truces were not nearly as widespread as in 1914, largely in part due to strongly worded orders from commanders prohibiting truces. Soldiers were no longer amenable to truce by 1916. The war had become increasingly bitter after the human losses suffered during the battles of 1915. When the National Railway Museum in York, England put out a job posting for a new director in 2009, the hiring managers got an interesting application. 6-year-old Sam Poynton sent in his application touting his knowledge and love of trains as proof he was fit for the job. Impressed by this and his enthusiasm for trains, they offered him an interview. He crushed it, so they appointed him the museum's official director of fun. In 2017, however, he moved on to the Grand Hotel and Spa, where they appointed then 14-year-old Sam as its very own director of fun and families, where he led a campaign to help children get the most out of their visits to York. In 300 BCE, these animals were heralded by the Maya as vessels of the gods and were honored as such, so much so that they were domesticated to have roles in religious rites. There are symbols of power and prestige and can be found all over the place in Maya iconography and archaeology. What animal is it? A. Horses, B. Eagles, C. Turkeys, or D. Frogs? The correct answer is C. Turkeys. Maya art portrays turkeys with slit throats being used in New Year rites. Bird sacrifices, anthropologists hypothesize, were meant to set the stage for a fertile new year, and turkeys were seen as a stand-in and messengers for the gods. The letter V is the only letter in the English language that is never silent. Many words have a silent letter or two. V will never be one of those words, unless, of course, you're Ensign Chekhov. Victor 2. I'm still not over Anton Yelchin's death. Ecologists released surprising research indicating that trees communicate through their closely connected root systems by sending messages through soil fungi. According to the author of The Hidden Life of Trees, What They Feel, How They Communicate, these chatty Cathys talk about everything from sharing sunlight with their neighbors to warning about environmental changes. Come on. The New York Daily News wrote that scientists discovered a "your mom" joke on a 3,500-year-old Babylonian tablet in Iraq. That joke's as old as Dusty is your mom. Sweden has an animal show jumping competition called Kaninhoppning. It started in Sweden in the 1970s. At that time, the rules were based on the rules from horse jumping, but were later reformed to be better suited for this animal. The sport grew throughout Sweden, and several jumping clubs were formed to support the growing interest. In the early 1990s, Norway joined in, developing new clubs and joining Sweden in jumping competitions. The Swedish Federation of this animal jumping was established in 1994. Show jumping became popular in all parts of Sweden. Germany joined other countries in starting their club in 2000. Organizations were established in the USA in 2001, Norway 2002, and Finland in 2004. What animal is jumping? A. Frog, B. Rabbit, C. Grasshopper, or D. Hopping mouse? The correct answer is B. Rabbit. The world's record for the highest rabbit jump is 107 centimeters or 43 inches and was achieved in March 2023. The world record for the longest jump at 301 centimeters, 9.88 feet, was achieved in 2017.